If you are in separation with your person and they were involved with other third parties, old flings, then this word is for you. This is a confirmation of what was going on in on their end as to why they were doing what they were doing. Your person, they were with those other partners, third parties, flings, because it was a part of their lesson. It was a part of their soul's lesson. They found someone that on the outside looked like they had it all together, but deep down, that person could not fulfill your person's soul or give them what their soul needed. Sorry, I lost my place. Couldn't even read my own handwriting. That this person could not give your person what their soul needed, and vice versa. These people may have these people that your person was involving themselves with, they may have had other things to show for themselves materialistically, but there was always something that was missing. And what was missing was true connection. A connection you can feel, a bond that is felt so strongly that it may be tough to put into words. They realize they cannot force something to be what it is not. They cannot force someone to be their person. They cannot force someone that isn't their person to be their person, because that is not the person that God handpicked for them. You see, your person, they wanted to pick someone that fit their image because they got so sucked into the world. They were caring more about their image than they cared about their own soul, of what their soul truly craves and yearns for. And when that happened, it backfired. So your person, they had to deal with the humiliation of being seen as being all in for someone, just to turn around, change their mind, and be seen as the flake, a flaky person, or fickle. So they were basically exposed as someone that wasn't loyal to begin with. They were exposed for their player ways, and the games that they were playing with people, playing with other people's emotions because they were avoiding their own. They played with other people's hearts because they were distracting themselves from the pain that they felt in their own heart. Now, God is sitting them down so they can think about what they did. Part two. They played with other people's hearts because they were distracting themselves from the pain in their own hearts. Now God is sitting them down so they can think about what they did and what they've been doing. They did this multiple times, but the last time they did it, they were exposed publicly. People see them for who they are, and they cannot hide anymore. The camera does not lie. Some of their true energy and feelings were caught on camera. You can read their body language and see that they aren't truly invested in or interested in the person that they are with. They are putting on a facade. This is their karma for how they treated you. You were all in. You were telling others about this new person you met. Then they ended up ghosting you. Then wandering off to live their life like nothing just happened. Like they didn't just completely shatter someone's heart. Now they've been exposed. They can't hide their toxic ways forever. They can't keep pretending that what they do to people isn't wrong. So their actions are being displayed publicly. They were so worried about their image that they messed up their own image by the choices that they made. It's like their fear came true. But this time, they can't run from the accountability now because there is full proof of their toxic ways. This was a huge blow to their ego so that their ego can completely die, so that they can turn away from their wicked ways. God had to hit them where it hurt, had to hit their ego and their image really hard so that God can wake them up, so that they can do some self-reflecting. Their relationship with their flesh was more important to them than their relationship with their soul. They were neglecting their own soul to satisfy their flesh. but God had something for them. God humbled them real quick. And the other person that they were dealing with moved on, kind of, in a way, kicked them to the curb instead of being in their feelings and chasing after them. This was another blow to their ego. So they're going through a massive ego death. They are realizing that their old tactics aren't working anymore. People aren't chasing after them to make them gain fuel at the satisfaction of feeling wanted. No, let me say that last part again. People aren't chasing after them to make them feel wanted. And the reason as to why they kept letting people chase after them is because it gave them the satisfaction of feeling wanted. Now at this point, they're feeling unwanted. People are walking away from them. They are not putting up with their mess anymore. A rude awakening. Part 3. Part 3. Now they are feeling unwanted. People are walking away from them. People are not putting up with their mess anymore. And they aren't used to that. So it's sending them in this spiral because they are now facing the reality that all that they have been doing and all of the things that they've been doing with other people, it's all because of the lack of love within themselves. That they need to heal, that they need a little bit of therapy, that they've been broken too. They ran from you because they saw how broken you were, and it showed them how broken they also were. And they thought that avoiding you, ghosting you, would make them forget just how broken they are, but it didn't. It only broke you even more, and it made them go into a cycle of self-sabotage, distracting themselves away from their feelings, trying to involve themselves in any and everything, trying to be seen any and everywhere so that they could have something that they could look at to show them and prove to them that they're doing well. All of this was for a show, and all of this was, they felt like they had something to prove. They were proving nothing to nobody but themselves, okay? But even when they weren't completely honest, even then, they weren't being completely honest with themselves. They lived in their flesh for so long that a lot of what they did became routine. A lot of their answers to certain questions were rehearsed and repetitive. They would put on this facade of saying the right thing, but it was to hide what was really going on. Strangers were fooled by them. Even their own loved ones were fooled by them. But you, divine feminine, you always saw right through it. You always realized that your divine masculine needed to mature some more. So you walked away and watched them walk into their own mess. And the divine feminine realized that they had to let the divine masculine go and go through their own karmic lessons and learn the hard way so that they could truly learn. Divine feminine realizes that she could not fully save their divine masculine from their karmic lessons, that they had to learn this on their own. They had their own soul lessons that they had to learn as well. And this is why you pulled your energy back. And you probably were wondering as to, did they choose somebody over me? No, it really was nothing, had nothing to do with you. It was all about their brokenness, their lack of love, their lack of union with themselves is why everything that they were doing was a trauma response to make themselves feel better and to avoid their own healing. That whole avoidant attachment style, yeah, it played itself out and manifests that way.